Welcome to another episode of Simple Thoughts. Today is another request from Kenneth David Bird. And if you would like to make a request for me to do certain shows, review certain shows in this type of format, just go to my Patreon and pledge $2 and you can request any type of review to be done, mainly in this format if you're pledging $2. So go there today. And the type of show, or the show I'm going to be reviewing today is MTV's Downtown. And the thing about it is, I didn't watch MTV a lot when I was a kid. Like, I knew a lot of people really enjoyed MTV, but as a kid, I kind of stayed away from it. It just didn't seem like my cup of tea. For the most part, it just wasn't something I really found myself that interested in, mainly because, I don't know, I felt like MTV was just going to be music videos and stuff like that, and that a lot of the music that came out then I wasn't that interested in. So I just decided to kind of steer away from it. But, the main thing when I did start paying a little bit of attention to MTV was mainly to watch, say, this animated Spider-Man movie. Not animated Spider-Man movie, the animated Spider-Man show they had going on, that CG Spider-Man show that was sort of based around the movies. I just kind of mainly watched for that. It wasn't until I became more of an adult that I started paying a little bit of attention to MTV. Granted, not that much, because let's face it, MTV's shit. They're not really a music channel anymore. They have a bunch of garbage shows, so I honestly still don't pay attention to them. Maybe for like the VMAs, that's about as far as it goes. But any other time, I'm like, why do I give a shit? Why should I give a shit? But I digress. Like, the thing, like, I finally got to watching MTV's Downtown, and honestly, I really like it. It feels so bad. I feel bad that it didn't last for very long. It only lasted like 13 episodes, and it sucks because they were really good. Like, they really had a good sense of reality, at least in terms of how people would interact with each other. Because it was very different from your typical TV shows or typical animated shows. Because a lot of the time, TV shows are scripted and, you gotta follow a certain formula. This show doesn't really follow a formula. The big draw of this is the fact that a lot of it's improvised. It's pretty much improvised animation. The conversations you hear are pretty much people are just coming up with shit off the top of their heads. And they have a special way of going about how the people talk, because like they did this special thing where the actors themselves they're not actors really. A lot of them weren't really actors. They were just people off the streets. And I like that idea, is that they really wanted to go for that hardcore realism, something that you easily connect to, because it's like, yeah, that is me very much to a T. I've been that person. I've had these weird conversations with my friends. I've gone to these weird locations. Granted, it was mainly just living in downtown, of course. There wasn't like special shit going on, or if there was special shit, it was in imagination. It was just someone describing a weird thing that could happen, or like a hypothetical thing, but it obviously wasn't going to happen. But it's something you easily relate to, because it's like, holy crap, this is my life, basically. It's like, that's my life. Like, and I like the way they went about telling how they directed the voice actors, in a sense, to basically they allowed them to do and all that, having those pauses in their conversations, because let's face it, that's how people actually interact. Like, like I just did right now, you would say or you'd say or say or do all that whenever you're talking. So it didn't feel scripted. A lot of it felt like this is something they're coming up with as they talk. And I really enjoy that format. And I feel like more shows should incorporate that a bit more. Like, the only thing I could probably think of that comes to my mind right now is maybe Harmon's Quest, in a sense. But that's more live. So if there is a fuck up, it's like, yeah, there you go. It's like, yeah, but it's at the same time, it's not all animated. A lot of it is done in a live action setting. So there's that. But I really enjoyed MTV's Downtown. Like, I really enjoy the characters because they feel realistic. You feel like holy crap, I know that character. I know that person. That person's, say, a friend of mine. I really, really enjoy it the most. The characters themselves, they're really great, honestly. Alex, he's basically this big nerd character. He's basically kind of this dork or this loser in a sense. And you easily get a feel for him. It's basically like just kind of living my life or getting by, still acting a bit like a man-child. It's like, yeah, and I have this crush on this woman who clearly is not likely to get with me. That was just sort of the thing. I enjoy, like, Alex, he's really cool. Jen, I would have to say, honestly, is my favorite. Like, she's just this crazy, eccentric character. I just really like how she goes about, like, messing with Alex. I like how she's kind of anti-conformity. She's just, honestly, really enjoyable is how she, like, interacts with people. And I really like her friendship she has with Alex, because they're both, like, from high school. They were high school friends. Like, I just really enjoy her a lot. She's, like I said, she's just my favorite, because she's just so crazy and weird, but I really like how the things that she would hate are things I myself would hate too. That's sort of why I like both Alex and Jen, honestly, but Jen is my favorite out of all. And then you got Alex's sister, Chaka, like his younger sister. She's pretty much the party girl. She enjoys all the things Alex hates, talking and socializing with all these people, doing all this and that, getting drunk and going to parties. Like, it's like, yeah, you know that person who just loves partying and shit. Then you have her other friends. I'm failing on her name. It was some weird name. I can't remember exactly, but it was but she's okay. Her friend's okay. Together they can act pretty wild, like when they mooned this dude on a subway station. Like, they were just on a movie train and they just decided to moon him. Okay. They just did that. Then there's the other friends, Fruity, who's just he's just kind of this sort of ladies' man. He really wants to get with girls a lot of the time. He's talking about this and that. That's basically his thing. He seems a bit pent up a lot. I can't fake it. As I was watching the show, I'm like, this dude feels so pent up about shit. And then there's his friend Matt, if I'm right, and he's pretty much the chill guy. He's the guy who's like, yeah, I'm just kind of here, I kind of bring some sense to our crazy group. But yeah, for the most part, these characters are really enjoyable because they feel so realistic. You really enjoy, like, their interactions. It's not a show about big laughs. That was the thing about it. It's not something that's going to have you laughing off your ass, but it is something you're going to sit down and enjoy a lot because you actually get to just see characters be real characters. It's not like those crappy reality TV shows where they're talking about crap you don't give a shit or talking about living the high life. These are characters who are not living the high life. A lot of them maybe want to be, but they're just not, Like, these feel more realistic than, say, your Jersey Shores or your Kim Kardashians or anything like that. Because these feel like people who really are who are kind of just getting by in life. That's more that's more interesting in my eyes. Like, this, and it kind of pissed me off that MTV slept on it. Like, I looked up some stuff and they're like, yeah, it was poorly advertised. A lot of people didn't even know it existed until after it was canceled. I'm like, oi. Just fucking oi. Like, you had a legitimately good show, but you fucked it up by deciding not to advertise it. It's like, damn you, MTV. Like, you guys just... Honestly, they just cannot handle TV shows. I feel they can't. That's just sort of the suck part of it. And one thing that kind of surprised me was the character that the show itself was from the creator of Megas XLR, Chris Pyrazanecki. I'm mispronouncing that name, I know. But either way, it's kind of surprising. It's like it's from the same guy. But it's not as surprising because in Megas XLR, he would make fun of MTV because it's like, yeah, they canceled my show. Like, of course I'm going to make fun of these fuckers. They canceled my show because they couldn't properly advertise it. And one fun thing was a certain character Goat on Downtown. They decided to reuse him for the show for Megas XLR as sort of this junk man. In MTV in Downtown, he was kind of this weird character who kind of just did his own thing. He was all about just doing his own thing. That was just sort of the fun part of it. And that's just honestly, the show itself was just great. And it sucks that it didn't get the time of day. It was really good, but MTV sucks. And here's my thing, if they were able to bring it back, I would say, of course, don't put it on fucking MTV. Nobody's watching MTV for anything. There's nothing important. There's nothing good on MTV anymore, so don't put it there. Maybe, I would suggest maybe Adult Swim. I feel that could probably work. Maybe TBS. Maybe. Because TBS is trying to get into the animation gig. They started getting American Dad. They got this show from the creator of Regular Show. J.G. Quintel's show. Out of Time? It's not that. Overtime. I forgot the name. Either way, they're starting to get back. They're starting to put on they're starting to put more and they're wanting to get into the animation gig or adult animation, and I kind of like, and so I'm interested. Honestly, I would like them to bring this back. I really like this show. I like these characters. I want to see more of them, but just sucks. The best thing though is that all the episodes are on YouTube. They put the episodes up for people to just watch because they sadly couldn't get like a major DVD series release. So the next best thing, put them on YouTube, and that's still great. They're in good quality on YouTube. They put them in a good quality. They're not like straight rips from the TV. Like there's no watermarks or anything like that. It's DVD quality, and I at least appreciate that they're willing to at least put it out there for people to watch. So yeah, I wish this show got more popularity. It was legitimately good. It was very different format for animation, and honestly, it was great how they went about it. Just improvised dialogue and then animating things around that dialogue. They were kind of ahead of they were pretty much ahead of their time in a sense. But sadly, it just didn't come to fruition. A lot of people didn't know about it. Sadly, it got a cult following, but it sucks. It really does suck. It was a great show, and just maybe cross our fingers. Maybe it comes back in some way, but just hoping. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and make sweet love to that subscribe button. Also, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to make a request of me to review anything in this sort of Simple Thoughts format, just go to my Patreon and pledge $2 today, and you can request me to review whatever show you want. And also, click the magic links in the description below, and you can help this channel a lot. All you have to do is click the links. You don't really have to do much else. And also, if you want, you can use them to buy, like, favorite nerd swag and all that, from Loot Crate to GameStop and all that. So, click those links and you can directly help this channel without any added cost to you. But that's just a thought.
Set your circuits free.